Gentlemen, I want to welcome Kiwi Kid and Crumbs to the desk. And I got to be honest, there was a moment there where I wasn't expecting to be talking to you guys. And then we kind of had that really shocking, finish. I mean, did you, Crumbs, as one of the main shot callers of the team, I mean, that had to have blown your mind when you saw them rotate back to Baron with an open inhib.
Oh no! I mean, as soon as we got the pick, he wanted to flash. He's like, I want to flash. I need to flash. And then we got the pick. I flash after, get the Ahri, and then we're like, oh well, it's obvious they just want to go for Baron. We're like, okay, we'll just end. So then that's pretty much it. We're like, oh, they're going for Baron. We'll win.
Was it Gamsu who decided to go back and stop himself, or was that also a call?
I think it was like everyone.
It was a collective, but I think Gamsu already was going. Like, he was already doing good for him.
Well, so that's got to point to a little bit of the synergy that you guys have developed already. And I know we were talking on the analyst desk prior to the match. We haven't gotten to see this lineup play too often. Got a little sneak peek over at IEM, but you're playing Korea. It seems as though that has, paid off at least a little bit in terms of synergistically. You guys are at least now able to expect things from the different players on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think our vision got a lot better, but at least for myself, I ended up getting really baited with that all the time. But I think that we definitely have a lot more synergy going on, and as the weeks progress, that'll improve.
One of the other things that we were talking about on the desk prior to the game is the fact that the champion pool, this split, has grown enormously in terms of things that are viable to play. And we actually pointed out specifically, Kiwi Kid, that Annie is a pick that is back. And we know how much you love to play that roaming support, playmaking support, where you can do exactly things like you did there to end the game. Do you feel like, though, that that's going to be a short-lived thing, seeing as how people are, recognizing that immediately, and it's time to ban that away?
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people still remember I used to only play Annie the first half of the summer split last year. But yeah, I mean, that's good. Open spans for the team, and honestly, I don't want to just be a one-trick Annie player because I'm trying to be a great support, not. I hope they ban Annie.
Not an Annie bot.
Yeah, I don't want to be Annie bot. We've already got one of those.
What would you say are the other supports then that kind of fill the same role as Annie that you feel you could do the same kind of playmaking stuff on?
Honestly, Annie's not really replaceable. She has the immediate flash stun. I mean, the only other support worthy thing that I can think about the top of my mind is Veigar, who also has a flash stun engage. But
I wouldn't mind seeing some Veigar support.
I've tried it. It's not bad, but you actually you need to put in a lot of games because you need to get really intuitive.
Right.
It's not even arguable that Veigar's stun is definitely a lot harder to hit than Annie's stun.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of familiarity in terms of ranges and things like that. Crumbs, you too, with your champion pool, we mentioned how you are a jungler who is willing to pretty much play anything across the board, and that is super useful in terms of allowing your team the opportunity to get the picks in the solo lanes that they need. Picked up Jarvan here. Was that mostly because you saw the Gnar and it was like, let's not give him that combo, or?
Well, I feel like with the champion pool now, it's mostly just back to the same thing. You got Lee Sin, Jarvan, and then that's pretty much it for now. And then it's like you play Rengar as well, which is also in the meta. And then thank you for the new addition of Rek'Sai, because I really love that one as well. But besides those 4 champions, you're really not playing anything else. I feel like anything below that is a little bit subpar. So you stick to those champions, and then the rest is just, well, you're going to have to deal with it.
Of course. And I have to point out that you had some really aggressive counter jungling in the early stages of the game, going for the Raptors multiple times. One time, unfortunately, getting caught out a little bit, had to flash over the wall. Is this something that you guys are now trying to trend towards, is a really more aggressive early game play style?
Well, yes, and it's also because the Raptors are pretty much the most broken out of all the camps because they grant that oracles, which once you smite it, you're pretty much safe to go anywhere and gank without being spotted, and if you are, you know where the ward is, you go ahead and kill it. So it allows you to counter jungle really effectively. So if you control both Rays, the enemy just doesn't have as much vision denial as you do, and you are able to get a lot better vision control. So it's just a better camp, to be honest.
Tips for solo queue, for sure. Now, Kiwi Kid, as the support, being the primary, vision provider for the team, how do you play around that now? What are the approaches to knowing that there is this Oracle buff available to people at all times? Are you looking for deeper wards then to catch them in places where they wouldn't expect them to be?
Oracle, the stupid Razor Beaks to give, it's just... Man, it's just too good. I used to just ward mid, ward that side of the mid for mid all the time, and now it's I'm really wary about it because like 75 gold in the early game is a lot, and especially since I like to go mobility boots first, and it doesn't like eating into a sightstone charge isn't as bad as getting mobility boots and then it eats into your actual like green ward. And now I gotta be more careful. I usually like don't do it as deep, and if I do, I'll make sure like Crumbs is like about to be there to counter gank something, or we can make a play off it. And no, I'm actually really happy about our game, and we have a lot to like build off of, and so I'm happy about that.
I do want to approach your duo of being with CoreJJ. I mean, we've known you as being, the other half of I'm a Cutie Pie. What's it like to switch that up finally? Because you guys had played together for so long. I have to imagine adjusting to a new duo is rather difficult.
Not really, because I haven't really played support for that long. It's only been like a year, and I'm still really open to like learning how to play the lane, especially because let's be real, like my laning was ass.
Especially.
Yeah, my laning wasn't the best, and he's taught me a lot so far. And I'm just really excited to like kind of learn how to play the game better.
Well, regardless, you guys did manage to pull out the win on the back of some great playmaking. I do want to jump into a replay. We're going to go about 30 minutes in. It was the first Baron that Coast took, but I want to look at the play you guys made coming off the backside of the Baron. Crumbs, we're going to pull it up on the screen. I'm going to have you walk me through it in terms of, the calls that were made to get the picks and then end up pushing for turrets off of it.
Oh, well, right here we tell JJ to use Scrying Lore to make sure that they're doing Baron or not, and they are. So we see, okay, it's really low. They're going to commit to it. They're very low as well, so it's unwise for them to retreat. So we say, okay, well, just fight in, go. And I'm really far back, so I know that I can't help out at all. So I just go straight to push a lane, and then they go in and clean them up.
All right, so we got to start out here. A fair amount of poke there landed on Jez as you see the Baron buff pop up. At this point, though, are you calling for, well, Gamsu goes in, so is that his call that he can make that pick?
Yeah, they're all doing their own thing because I'm not there at all. I can't see what's happening. Like, I'm just going straight for the lane. They say we can go, keep going, because Annie wants to go around because she's got mobilities, so she can get a stun for more kills. And then I'm just getting the wave so that once they're doing that, we can just go straight to middle lane and get that. Otherwise, we probably would have just gotten one tower.
Right, so I want to take a look at now because we've seen a couple games here. We saw in Cloud9 versus TSM, Cloud9 had the Baron, they had the first 3 dragons, but they still managed to lose the game. So it seems like there are teams putting a high priority on those 2 global objectives that don't yield gold anymore but yield stats, and they're not finding as much success. Because you guys, you had 1 dragon, but then you ended up going down 3-1 dragons at some point. Also a Baron, but still managed to pull out the win. Do you think that teams are putting too much emphasis on the dragon and the Baron?
Yeah, the more I think about it and the more I play, it doesn't matter. The dragon count doesn't matter until you have 5. It's basically like, if you sacrifice too much for the first 4 dragons, it's probably not worth it.
It's all about the items now. If you have items and you can teamfight, you're going to win. Doesn't matter what the other guy has.
All right, so going into tomorrow, I want to take a look at your matchup. You're playing TIP. This roster has been blown up and then restructured around Zhao Wei Zhao, so you're familiar with him. Are you guys? What's your approach when going at an entirely new roster? Are you looking at the known factors, saying, okay, well, at least we know Zhao Wei Zhao, so let's play around him? Or are we doing, as our own thing, and then this is kind of like the test the waters?
We got to look at their game today, and off that we'll have a pretty good understanding as to how the team functions, and off that then we can base our plans.
All right, sounds good. Well, I want to congratulate you guys again on that win, as surprising and as abruptly as it did complete. But we're excited to see how you guys come out swinging tomorrow against TIP. We do have to take a quick break, but keep it tuned right here to see if your Twitter question or answer gets read on air, making you the proud owner of a new Challenger Ahri skin. Then Winter Fox will battle it out with newcomer Gravity in our 3rd match of the day. The 2015 Spring Split continues after this.
Heard a lot of the matchups between these lanes. I want to see plays being made. They're still going to get the dragon, but it may be a continued fight. Crumbs getting hit up, a few more hits to him. That's Chris's pickup. Jez's will be going down. He's going, changing on to Kiwi Kid. No! Timbers this fight. That goes down, and it looks like they're going to be going hard on this fight. Gamsu taking a lot of damage. Forced to flash over the wall. That's bad news, Bears. I do not know where that call just came from.
Gamsu can interrupt
this is going to be over. That's not empowered. Transcendent blades through the entire team. That's going to put the nail in the coffin.